Hey everyone, this is Ed Gutowski, and what I wanted to do was to welcome you to our English 1B Introduction to Literature class. I just kind of wanted to create a welcome video where I kind of talk a little bit about the course and the books for our class. Look, our class is going to be loads of fun. It's going to be really entertaining. The books and the readings that I am just really excited for. And you'll notice, because this is an 8-week class, we've got quite a bit to cover, because an Introduction to Literature class covers basically short stories, poetry, some plays, and then, we read a novel. And I just felt that in 8 weeks it would be a little much to add Shakespeare. So I'm removing Henry V from our class, and I'll kind of talk about that maybe as the term progresses. But English 1B is a lot of fun, and you guys are in for a treat, because our class is basically going to break up into kind of two parts, right? So the first 5 weeks we're going to look at a book here called Light on Snow by Anita Shriver. And this book is just fantastic. It's a contemporary novel. It's set in current times. And basically what you have is, it starts off, it's a bit of a mystery. And what you have is, you have a father and a daughter, and it's set in New England. I think we're set in New Hampshire, and it's snowing. It's just pouring snow. You're kind of in the middle of nowhere, and this father and a daughter are walking, and every day they walk the same path to this wall. And so you don't really know much about them, and it's pouring snow, and they're walking, and they're trying to get to this wall, and all of a sudden the father says, "Do you hear a sound? What's that sound? Did you hear something?" And they hear this kind of sound. They don't know what it is. "Do you hear that sound?" "Yeah." And they look over, and you think it might be a bear or a wolf, and they look over, and someone has left a baby in a blanket, and they hear a car drive off, and they pick up this baby that's just been born. And from there, the story really kind of unfolds. I really like this story. I thought it used, I've taught it before. I've got great student responses, and it's a pretty powerful book. And so the great thing when we talk about, literature, oftentimes, students might be familiar with, famous American writers, whether it's, let's say, John Steinbeck or Mark Twain, but they want to argue who are like some of our contemporary writers. And Anita Shriver, she's really started to come on the scene, even though she passed away recently, that we in our class, we are going to get to determine whether or not she deserves to be considered one of the great writers of American literature. It's a great novel. It's lots of fun. Then the second book we're going to read is Maus. And Maus is a graphic novel, deals with the Holocaust. And again, I've used it before, and it's quite powerful, and it gives us an opportunity to kind of talk about Holocaust literature. So if you're going to think about it, even though we're an 8-week class and we've got a lot to cover, the first 5 weeks we'll spend on Anita Shriver, Light and Snow, and then the last 3 weeks we'll look at Maus and Holocaust literature. But in the end, we're kind of looking at a graphic novel, a comic book. And so I think that'll kind of balance things out. And then the other book you want to get is Backpacker's Guide to Literature. And this has all the short stories, the poetry, the fiction we're going to read. It's great. It's accessible. We're probably going to read about 2 short stories a week. And the short stories are great. Most students really like the short stories. We'll look at some of the poetry. And within the backpack literature, there's 2 short plays that we're going to look at. So I just wanted to kind of introduce the class. It's an Introduction to Literature class. You have a sense of what the reading is going to be. And in week 1, you're basically going to look at, there are 10 poems that are going to be the foundation of our class. So I'm going to have you read over these 10 poems. What do you think of the poems? Why do you think they're the foundation of our class? And basically how our class is set up is, we never meet in person. We are asynchronous, right? Everything is due Friday by midnight. And what I found in the past is that students like having that full week to get work done. So it allows some flexibility. The only thing that is due each Monday is for you to log on to Canvas and check the agenda. So you can read over the agenda, kind of know how to prepare yourself for the week, and ask any questions you might have, and I'll respond. And basically, the reason why the weekly check-ins work is it gives you some accountability where you have to check in. Okay, I know what I got to get done, And then it also gives me accountability because I'll come in, check the work, check that you responded, see if you have any questions for me. So that's how it's going to be for most of the 8 weeks. For week 1, it is important that you email me at my Sierra College email. Give me an introduction. Introduce yourself to me. Tell me something fun about yourself. Look over the syllabus, any questions you might have about the class, because I do need to make room for ads. So if I don't hear from you by Tuesday at midnight, by an email, I'll drop you and I'll start adding people on the wait list. So that's the gist of the class. It's going to be lots of fun. I'm really excited. I'm excited to see what you think of the syllabus, excited what you think about the Poemster class, and then we'll be off into the running. So if you have any questions, feel free to email, come by my Zoom office hour. The class is going to be a lot of fun.